Welcome to another episode of Discover Harmony, Florida. I'm Krista McCary, and I'm here with your host,
Janine Corcoran, broker for the Corcoran Connection, a real estate company.
And so we are getting ready to head into March, which is the time when we have spring break in Osceola County. So when's spring break this year?
March 11th through the 18th, and the students go back to school on Monday the 21st.
That's awesome. Okay, so that's a nice long break. What is that, like 10 days?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A little bit more.
Yeah.
I guess my math is off.
If you do both weekends.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what do we have going on in Harmony? Is there anything special going on in Harmony in specific during spring break?
Yeah, so right now right now we have movie night, which is at the end of the spring break week on the 19th. So that's a Saturday at 7:30 p.m. They haven't announced the movie yet, but that's always fun. We do the movie in the town square. Bring your chairs, blankets, bug spray, and it's just a fun night to be able to see the kids running around, the movie's playing, parents go over to the restaurant and get a drink if they want, and
Right.
it's just a great time. It's fun. It's fun to see everyone, kids running around the square or whatnot. So.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I noticed you said 7:30 because like the days are getting a little bit longer now, little more stretch of light. So I think they're just kind of waiting for it to get a little darker.
Last time they started at 7, but it was wintertime, darker. So
darker,
definitely
really.
7:30. So that's always fun. And then not spring break, but they also have your food trucks on March 23rd, and that's down by Lakeshore Park, down by Buck
Yes.
Lake, and that's from 5 to 8 Wednesday, March 23rd. So that's when the kids go back to school Monday. That Wednesday we'll have food trucks, and that's always fun.
That's great too, because your kids just went back to school. So if you're like me, it's going to take a minute to get back in the habit of cooking, and so to have a break on a Wednesday night, that's great. That's a lot of fun, and I know people really enjoy going down. Jennifer does a great job at getting the different food trucks to come out and
they do a nice
here.
variety too.
They do. It's not always like you don't see the same person every time, so it's cool to be able to experience different things.
And that's another great time. People they ride the golf carts there.
Right.
They bring chairs, and you just get to see the neighbors. It's just fun,
right? And the playground's right there, so you can eat. The kids can play. Everybody's just kind of hanging out. It's a good
basketball court,
time.
ping pong. I mean, it's just it's just a fun event. Fun event for everyone.
Right. It really is.
So that's very Harmony specific.
Right.
But what if you're not going away? What if a lot of people do go away for spring break, which is great. They go to the beach, they go But what if you're not going away? What are you going to do with the kids if you're home and you don't have them in a camp? What are you going to do?
Right.
So what about the beach side?
So we like to go to Melbourne a lot, and I think people, especially newer people to Harmony, don't think about it because they're like, oh, Melbourne, it's so far away. It takes you the exact same time to get to Melbourne as it does to go to like the Loop in Kissimmee. And distance wise, obviously it's further, but it's just such a smooth, peaceful ride all the way out to the coast. And so we love going over to the Melbourne beaches. We'll actually go a little south to Spessard Holland, I think it's called, where they have Billy's, Billies. And they have a little like beachside, quick serve type restaurant. So you can grab some lunch there. Kids love getting ice cream there, and they have bathrooms and showers. And so it's a great like public parking place. It doesn't cost you anything to park. You do kind of have to get there early or later
It's not
in
a
the
big
afternoon.
parking lot.
No,
either.
it's not a huge parking lot. And it's, it's becoming more and more popular now.
I think because of Billy's.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's great. I mean, what a great, you don't have to pay for parking, which is great. Like if you go straight down 192 into
To the public parking lot, they have to pay.
Right,
You have to have coins for the
meter or whatever. But down at Billy's, you can you park for free, and then the restaurant's there. So if you're hungry, you could just grab something to eat and
it's like a beachside stand where they have picnic tables outside, and you just eat, and we'll bring it back down to your chair.
Right. So I really like that, and they usually have lifeguards too, especially during the season. There's lifeguard stands, so that's nice to have that peace of mind there. But it's a really good time. We like going there, so that's one of our favorite things to do. We'll do it at least once during the spring break trip. Actually, that's pretty much once the weather's warm consistently, we go all the time.
And if you're like me,
right,
you want to stay no.
If you
don't want children,
go north.
Go north and park at the Crown Plaza.
Yes,
because then you can go on the beach and you actually go up to a real restaurant and sit there on their deck and order food and drinks and stuff like that. But no, this is about the kids.
Yeah,
it's spring break, mom and dads and stuff like that. But not that you can't go there with the kids, but that's less
less, like there's definitely less families there.
Less
I feel
families
like.
there, yeah.
You know, but it is a great trip. Like we go up there a lot. You know, when it's just us, we'll go up and because it's kind of nice. You can rent chairs. You can have them bring you drinks to the beach. So
You get spoiled there.
So it's, you know, definitely a little bit, you know, more for the adults up there, but they're
And
not far
plenty
from
of
each other.
parking.
Plenty
Because
of
they have parking, the walkway across the highway. You can park
Yep.
across the street. So, and you
Yep.
know, so yeah, we enjoy the Crown Plaza. But you know, love Billy's too. That's always a fun place. And usually, it's funny because sometimes when you go there, you see neighbors like
Oh, all the time.
from Harmony.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah,
That's like,
it's like, isn't that so and so?
that's where we all go. We all go there. So
Yeah.
I'm
So
sure
if you haven't been, check it out.
right. I'm sure somebody at some point mentioned it on like the forum or something like
Maybe,
that.
maybe.
And now that's why everybody just goes there. So that's really cool. That's where we like to go. But also like beachside, it's so funny when my oldest daughter started driving, Rachel, when she started driving, she would love going to Melbourne because like the Melbourne Mall, because the parking spaces were bigger. And it was easier for her to park. But it's nicer, you know, you have new drivers driving over that way. It's
That's
a little
true.
less
traffic.
Less traffic, a little less stressful. And people seem to be more laid back on the beach side. So that's kind of nice. You know.
But what about if you're local and you're just looking for daily things to do? What
Right.
about the Reptile World Serpentarian? I mean, that's a great place to go to. If you haven't been, it's like right here.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
You've
make a
seen
right
it.
out of Harmony and 192, and you see the snake. Yeah, if you
Right.
haven't been, you really have to go. It's so educational. It's not expensive,
Right.
and they've been around since the 70s. They provide, what were we saying? They provide the
anti-venom, the venom for
venom,
you know,
for snake bites and whatnot nationally.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
they
it's-
like milk the snakes there,
Yeah.
like as part of their
Yeah.
show. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely something you have to experience. I know you said that, you know, we were talking about this before, and I know you said that you brought us when we were younger, but I swear we had a field trip there too.
Yeah, maybe that's when you went.
Right.
Yeah,
But it was a cool experience regardless. And I
Yeah.
don't like snakes at all, but you don't have to touch them.
no,
You can just watch 'em.
But you can. They do bring a snake out at
Right.
the end. That's non-poison. I think my grandson ended up holding him and whatnot.
Right.
But
That's
but
cool.
yeah, it's just it's never usually big crowds or anything like that. They
Right.
do have a little walkthrough, a few different animals, but it's mostly about the snakes. And of course, they have the gift shop and things like that. But
Yeah.
but no, it's good.
It's a cool experience, especially if you've never been.
Yeah, if you've never been, you definitely have to. Especially if you've lived here in Harmony, it's like right around the corner.
Literally. You don't even have to make it to Narcoossee or Nova. Like
No.
it's before that. So you're good. It's easy
yeah,
trip.
Yeah, it's so worth it. So worth it.
Yep.
And then of course we have Wild Florida. That's always a good one to go to. I love going there. They have the drive-through safari.
Yep. Or Africa, like KJ likes to call it.
That's right. Grandson calls it Africa. I want to go back to Africa. So that's a lot of fun. So you can't pay for the safari separate. You have to, when you pay for your ticket, you actually get the safari and then you get the walk-through zoo. And they have so much there. It's like a hidden
Right.
gem. Like
Right.
seriously, you can go all the way over to Brevard Zoo, which is a great zoo, you know, but this is not that far. It's local and it's fun. So when you go through, you have to watch out for the ostriches. That's the only animal you have to watch out for. You can hang out of your car. So we have a sunroof and we put KJ in the middle. He literally stands up while we drive through the safari and I have the window open. Sometimes I actually sit outside the window, you know, because I'm taking video of him and the animals, but it's a lot of fun. So the last time we went, we were so close. We were about 3 feet away from a camel. And he's like right there, and I'm videotaping him. I was like, "Oh, the camel! Look at the camel!" And he's literally looking over the camel through the fence. He's like, "There's a pig! There's a pig!" I'm like, "A pig? There's a camel in front of you.
Right.
Look at the camel." He's like, "No, there's a pig! There's a pig!"
Right.
It's like,
It's like you could literally touch the camel. I mean, please don't touch the camel. I'm pretty sure that's in the rules. Don't touch the animals. But like, you know, that's so funny that he like. I feel like that's totally kids these days. You know,
and maybe
kids in
because we've
general.
been there a few times, so he's
Right.
getting used to the animals. He does love feeding
Right.
the giraffe. At the end, they have a little feeding area for the giraffe. You do pay extra for that, but definitely the giraffe is a lot of fun. You know,
Right.
they give you a head of. Well, it depends. They give different food. I noticed that, and the woman at the store was telling me, depending on what time of year, they have different food for the giraffe. Last
that's
time it was
cool.
like lettuce. I forget what it was the time before, but anyway,
Right.
so it's just fun. You know, looking
Right.
at their black. The black
Their
tongues.
Yeah. That's so cool. And that's something fun to do. And then we also, that was at, which one was that?
That was Wild Florida.
Wild Florida. And then you have zip lining, right?
Yeah, that's Forever Florida.
Yep.
Yep. Have you
Down
tried that?
in Kenansville, no. I don't do heights. I don't do heights at all. So they haven't done the zip lining, but a lot of people would really like that. I feel like it. I'm sure you've seen ads on Facebook or whatever. I know I have, and my hands sweat just thinking about it. They're sweating right now.
Mine too. Mine too.
But I'm totally not about the zip lining, but I'm sure some people are. Those thrill junkies, not me.
Well, I think it's better because they lock you in a harness, so you
Right.
feel safe. You're not going to fall. I've done zip lining over bodies of water where you had to hold on yourself and you had to pull
Right.
you, and that's hard to do if you like. I don't have a lot of upper body strength,
Right.
And you have to pull your legs up so you don't hit the water, and I would fall on my face every time,
Right.
Because I just couldn't do it. But I think being harnessed in would be fun. I don't think that would
Yeah.
bother me.
I don't know, but how tall are we talking? Isn't it like 40 feet or is it
Yeah,
higher
it's-
than that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. If
I don't know.
We'll have to put it on the list. Maybe the girls will go this spring break.
Yeah. I might watch from below. I don't know.
You
Maybe
could
I'll get brave
you could
enough
do the
and I'll
video.
do it. Yeah, I'll do the video from below. I don't know about that. I'm not a big fan of heights. So, but that's really cool. And that's down in Kenansville, right?
Yeah, that's down in Kenansville.
Yeah.
And then you have, if you want to do some airboat rides, they have Marsh Landing Adventures, which is also Orlando airboat tours, and that's fun. Going out, seeing the gators and whatnot.
Right. If you haven't been.
If you haven't been,
Yeah.
these are all real Florida things. Really
Right.
Florida things to do. You definitely should check it out.
Absolutely. And there's also, we talked about going down to Melbourne, but I'm sure you've seen it if you've gone down to Melbourne. There's the Holly airboat tours.
Oh yeah,
right?
same thing. Yeah, those are good.
Those are really cool. We've been on those. So
And that's
there's-
less than 30 miles. You make a left, and it take you not even 15, 20. No, probably 20 minutes to get there.
Yeah, about 20. It's just before 95. But it's still such a nice, I don't know. I just prefer going that way. I'm not about crowds if you haven't been able to tell.
Who likes crowds these days?
Right.
Speaking of crowds,
Right.
don't forget the big guys.
Right.
Because
If you like the crowds.
yeah,
no.
if you like the crowds and you have nothing better to do, plan a day. You can go to. Well, first let's go down to International Drive, Wonderworks.
Right.
They have laser tag. They have all kinds of things in that building, and that's a
Right.
lot of fun.
Right.
Especially if you don't have little kids and they're older.
Right.
So much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun to do that.
Good,
right?
like middle school aged, right?
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
that's a great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun to do. You can spend a day there, and really you can spend the whole day there in that building.
Right. There's a lot to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. And then, but what about swimming with the dolphins at Discovery Cove? That's a fun thing. It's
Yeah.
expensive, but
Well, definitely a once in a lifetime.
Yeah,
You have to
kind
do
of
it
like
once.
bungee jumping. You should do it once.
No, you shouldn't do it. So I'll tell you a story. Speaking of bungee jumping, you'll remember this. We were about 10. I was about 10. We were about 10. I was about 10 years old. We went to California to visit family, and everybody was going bungee jumping. And so I was going to go bungee jumping because I wanted to be included and go bungee jumping. And the first 10 minutes of me standing on the platform with my toes hanging over was really cute. Everybody's, oh, look. About 10 minutes later, though, I'm pretty sure I started to hear, push her, push her.
We did. They wouldn't push her.
wouldn't
I
push
don't
me.
think I said push. It's probably your
I
dad.
was totally dad, and I'm pretty sure. I'm not pretty sure. I know for sure. I walked back down. I think I gave my ticket to one of my cousins to go a second time, but I didn't do it. That was 7 stories up at 10 years old, and it's an exposed stairwell. I hate heights. I hate heights so much, and my hands are sweating just thinking about it. I'm having panic attack over here. But yeah, I am. So that was a lot of fun.
That was my one time bungee jumping. Never again. I'm
Right.
afraid of heights too.
Right.
But just
At least
walking
you
up the
did it once.
stairs were hard.
That was really hard. And the stairs were exposed. And I kept remembering I was looking out and I was like, all I see is the tops of buildings. Like it's not like we were like in like a big city, like with really tall buildings. That
We're in
kind of
San
like made
Diego,
you-
I think, right?
Yeah, I want to say it was. I'm not
I
really
remember,
sure.
I remember jumping off, and I don't know if it was me or we were yelling at someone else, but you jumped off with the bag,
Yeah.
and then I remember them saying, "Let go your hands," and so we went like this, and they're like, "No, your other hand too," and then I like this. Let
You
go
were
of
like,
the
I'm
bag,
not letting go of both. Are you kidding me? No way.
because I guess once you jump, you can let go of the bag. But,
Right.
Well,
No,
we're letting
thank
go of
you.
the bag. That's the only thing that's making you
Right.
feel safe.
Right. No, I don't know. Maybe if I went like now that I'm older, but
What
I
about
was
the people that
10.
jump off the bridge with just their feet tied?
Nope. Never do it. No, thank you. Yes. So I don't know. I don't know if there's any bungee jumping locally. I don't know if I've seen anything. lately. If
Oh,
they do it at,
okay.
like, Fun
So
Spot
down
or-
in yeah, I was gonna say Fun Spot. You have down in Kissimmee, Old Town.
right.
You know, they have a bunch of rides there. So yeah, I mean, you don't have to go to the big parks if you don't
No.
want. But there's so much to do here.
Right.
You don't realize that until you live in a different state.
We're spoiled.
And we have all kinds of entertaining, from beaches to
I know.
just parks and
Right.
you know, nature. Then you have the snakes, the gators. There's
Right.
just so much here in Florida.
Right.
There's just so much. We're spoiled.
We are. We really are. Like, my husband's from Illinois. Like, no offense, Q, but what do they have there? Corn mazes? Like,
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
I mean,
though.
you know,
people
so-
from Florida leave to go see mountains. That's what they do,
right.
right? Because that's what we're missing.
Right. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, cold weather and mountains.
Right.
Change of season.
Right.
Snow if you want to ski.
Right. No,
Other
thanks.
than that, everything is here in Florida.
Absolutely. And I love it that way. It's great. It's so funny when, like, the kids, for a while there, their dad would work, worked at the theme parks. And so they'd get free tickets to go to Disney, which, I mean, come on, you're Florida residents. I mean, I'm sure you know somebody that works at Disney. I don't know if we've ever actually had to pay to go. But they would go so often that, like, they couldn't understand why people would want to come for Disney. Like, they were so excited about Disney. And they're like, it's just Disney.
I
Like,
know.
So you do get spoiled.
Yeah. Sometimes you get burnt out if you
Go all
your
the
card
time.
members. Yeah, you go
Yeah.
all the time.
But
So
it's so fun.
the two Disney water parks, Blizzard Beach, Typhoon
Mm-hmm.
Lagoon, that's always fun during spring break.
Oh, for sure.
And what's the one that Universal has?
They have Volcano Bay, which that's Olivia's favorite.
I haven't been
and
there yet.
It's really cool. They give you the wristband, so you don't have to physically wait in line. You can check in to a line with your little watch, and then it tells you what time to return. And it buzzes you when it's time to come back and get in line, so you don't have to stand there waiting. So, like, if it says it's a 60-minute wait for a ride, you just check in and then you go do other things that don't have a wait, and then you come back when your time is up. So it's really cool. The only downside to that, I think, is that you can only get in one line at a time. So it's
do you
not like
mean?
you can't check in for this ride and then go check in for that ride. And
Oh, you
then-
can't?
No, you have to do one at a time.
So you have to wait for yours to be finished?
and then you can check into the
Oh,
next
they
ride.
should really
I know,
fix that.
right? But then I don't
But
know how
maybe it
work.
will create a line then when you come back if they
Right.
do it that way.
Right.
I wonder how many people they book at one time. Like if you're going back at 10 o'clock, are there like 100 other people at 10 o'clock, you think?
No, yeah, they stagger them like every couple of minutes, like every 5 minutes or so. I think. I don't know if they're directly 5-minute increments. I can't remember, but they space them out because they'll
So that's why you can't book another one.
right.
Oh, that's
Because you're booked in like little like niche times, and so,
So
then
it's in place of what they use, like Disney has a fast pass. It's kind of similar.
similar. It's just a different way. So like they call them virtual queues, so that you don't have to physically stand in line. So then when you go back, you go right up, and then there's like 3 people ahead of you, and you jump on the ride and you're done. You know, so that part's cool.
All that waiting for what, a 2-minute ride?
Right, but at least instead
At
of
least
like
you're not
standing in a
there.
ride,
You can go
know,
have
like-
lunch or
Right.
or go visit something else that you don't have. Yeah.
Right. So it's cool. It's a cool experience, and
And you hand the watch back in when you finish.
Yep. You turn it in when you leave. But it was a cool experience.
What's that place called?
Volcano Bay.
Volcano Bay.
Yep.
Better than Blizzard Beach, or just
So I don't know. We really enjoy it, but I don't know if it's just because it's newer, you know. But Blizzard Beach is always an old time favorite. Like I love that. I think they have that zip lining thing with the water,
they?
if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken,
yeah.
with the kids.
Oh, yeah.
For the kids. So that's a really cool park. I really enjoyed that too. And then Aquatica.
Aquatica.
SeaWorld's. Yeah, so that's a really cool water park too, to go to, and you get to kind of go through the lazy river through, see all the fish and stuff like that. So that's a neat experience as well.
So there's plenty to do. If you're not going away, there is so much to do here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
St. Cloud, the beach, the parks. I mean, it's just all over.
There really
the
is.
The other thing after spring break is the battle at Narcoossee Mill.
Yes.
And that is March 26th, 27th, and that's Saturday. What time is that starting?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Yep. So if you've never
history.
been, really cool experience. If you've never been, you got to go at least once. Find out all about the history of the battle at Narcoossee, which is really cool. Like, what a cool experience. Teach your kids. So there are some educational things we threw in there.
Yeah, some educational things. That's right.
But the kids need a little break, I think, and hopefully you get to get out there and enjoy us. Let us know, what is your favorite thing to do, local favorite thing to do in St. Cloud or Central Florida. Let us know. We want to hear from you. And also, we want to know if you have any questions for our upcoming special guest that's going to be on our podcast. Who's going to be here?
So we're going to have my sister Barbara Corcoran, and she has her own podcast called Business Unusual, which I was just on the other day, and that will be airing on March 8th. Yeah. And so that was a lot about growing up, family, starting businesses. So that was good. And
so if you want to know the real truth behind the family, there was a little tension there. Whose side of the story is right? No,
definitely. You have to remember
there's
there's 13 years between us. But Barbara's going to go ahead and be on our podcast. Right?
Yep, coming up.
Yep.
So if you have any questions, go ahead and email us at discoverharmony at gmail.com. We'll leave the email in the podcast description.
Yep.
Shoot us an email if you have any questions for Barbara. We're going to take a handful of questions from our listeners and ask her those because, it's always fun to get involved. So if you have any questions that you want to ask her, send them to us.
Absolutely.
We'll get them to her.
Yep.
So, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Enjoy your spring break, and we will see you on the next podcast.